Before this video ends, you could have a real AI running on your own laptop. Not a website, not a free trial. A full artificial intelligence living on your machine, free with no subscription, no account, and no internet required. That last part sounds impossible, but it is real. In the next 10 minutes, you will know exactly how to do it, step by step, and you will learn the strange truth about who actually made it possible. Because it was not who you think. First, why bother? Two reasons, and they are both about ownership. The $20 a month you might pay for AI buys convenience, but every question you ask travels to someone else's computer and lands in someone else's log. Run the AI locally and your questions never leave the room. No fee, no limit, no record. And here is a number to keep in your head while you learn the steps. 1 gigabyte for every billion. It is the only math you will need today, and it will matter soon. So what do you actually download? Two free programs dominate this world, and picking between them takes one sentence. If you like clicking buttons, download LM Studio. If you like typing commands, download Ollama. That is the whole decision. LM Studio is a normal desktop app with a search bar and a chat window, and it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Ollama is leaner, a tool that lives in your terminal, beloved by programmers. Both are completely free. Both do the same job. They are the record player, now you need the record. Here's where most people freeze because the model names look like alphabet soup. Names like Llama, Quen, Phi, and Gemma. Strange names, but look who is behind them. Llama comes from Meta. Quen comes from Alibaba. Phi comes from Microsoft. Gemma comes from Google. Some of the largest companies on Earth built these machine minds, spent fortunes training them, and then placed them on the free shelf for anyone to take. Why would giants do that? That is the story from the last video, the strange economics of giving away treasure. Today, you are just the one collecting it. And here is something nobody tells beginners. The families have personalities. Llama tends to be a friendly all-rounder, the reliable house guest. Quen punches above its weight on reasoning and code. Phi is the small overachiever, built to squeeze surprising smarts into tiny sizes. Gemma aims for balance and safety. None of this is on the box, and benchmarks only tell you so much. The real move? Download 2 of them. They are free, remember? Ask both the same 5 questions from your actual life. Keep the one whose answers you like, delete the other. Choosing an AI by taste instead of by marketing is a luxury the subscription world never offered you. So, how do you choose a size? Remember the number you are holding, 1 gigabyte for every billion. Every model wears its size in its name, a little b for billions of parameters, the tuned dials inside the machine mind. A model called 3B has 3 billion of them, and 8B has 8 billion. And if the word parameters sounds abstract, picture the guitar strings from the last video, billions of tiny tension settings that were tuned together until noise became answers. More strings usually means a richer instrument. It also means a heavier one. That is the trade you are managing when you pick a size, intelligence against weight, and your laptop's memory is the room the instrument has to fit inside. Here's how the rule plays out in practice. An 8 gigabyte laptop is happiest with models between 3 and 8 billion. A 16 gigabyte machine can host a 12 billion parameter mind with room to spare. Check your machine's memory once and you know your size forever. Now the actual steps, and there are only 4. 1. Download LM Studio from its website and install it like any other app. 2. Open it and type a model name into the search bar, something like Llama or Quen, sized by your rule of thumb. 3. When the list appears, pick a version marked with a Q4, the everyday compression level, and press download. 4. When it finishes, open the chat tab and say hello. That is it. There is no step 5. The moment the reply streams onto your screen, you are running artificial intelligence on your own silicon. Prefer the typing route? Then Ollama's version of all 4 steps fits in 2 short commands. One command installs it. One command, Ollama run followed by a model name, downloads the mind and opens a chat in the same breath. Programmers love it because other programs on your computer can talk to it too, which turns your laptop into a little AI server for anything you build. Different door, same room. A quick word on hardware because the machines differ. A Mac with Apple Silicon is quietly one of the best local AI computers money can buy, since its memory is shared in a way these models love. A Windows laptop with a gaming graphics card flies too, the same chips born for video games doing the raw math, exactly like the big data centers, just smaller. And an ordinary machine with no special chip at all still works too. It runs slower and warmer, but it works. The point of the sizing rule is that there is a model for whatever you already own. Nobody needs to buy anything today. But hold on, where did that compressed version even come from? Who shrank a data center mind until it fit beside your vacation photos? Here's the twist nobody expects. The entire local AI world, the apps, the formats, the compression, almost all of it stands on the work of one independent engineer. His name is Georgy Gurganov, and a few years ago he wrote a program called Ollama.cpp, a hobby project to run Meta's model on his own computer. No lab, no billion-dollar cluster. One stubborn programmer who believed a laptop was enough. His code and its file format became the foundation nearly every local AI tool is built on today, quietly powering the very apps from step one, and the compressed files you just learned to download all trace back to it. The trillion-dollar companies trained the minds. A guy with a text editor set them free on ordinary machines. Sit with that. The thing you are installing today exists because one person refused to believe AI belonged only in a data center. And the compression trick itself? You have already met it if you saw the last video. Quantization, the move that rounds the model's billions of numbers to lower precision, like compressing a studio recording into a smaller audio file. You lose a whisper of quality. You gain a mind that fits in your memory. That is what the Q4 label means when you download, 4 bits per dial instead of 16. It is the reason the number per billion rule works at all. So what does the first run actually feel like? Honest answer, a little magical and a little humble. You type a question. There is a pause. Then words begin streaming, one chunk at a time, and you can hear your laptop lean into the work, fans rising like the machine is thinking out loud. On a small model, it writes more slowly than the big cloud services. It is less polished. Sometimes it stumbles. But now do the test that changes how this feels forever. Turn on airplane mode. Kill the Wi-Fi completely. Ask another question. It answers. Remember the promise at the start? No internet required? This is that promise. Kept. There is no server. There is no company on the other end. There is just you and a mind you own, and nothing you type is being seen by anyone on Earth. Think about what that quietly retires. Every cloud chat you have ever had lives in a log somewhere, and logs have lives of their own. They can be reviewed by employees, kept for years under policies you never read, folded into training data, or exposed in the next breach that makes the news. None of that requires anyone to be evil. It is just what happens to data that leaves your hands. The local model ends the question entirely, not with a promise or a privacy policy, but with physics. Words that never travel can never leak, which is a kind of security no subscription tier sells. Time for honesty, because this channel does not oversell. A small local model is not the world's best AI. The frontier models, the giant ones, are still smarter, faster, and better at hard reasoning. And for heavy work, the cloud still wins. What a local model gives you is different. A tireless private assistant that is completely yours. Picture what that is for. A lawyer summarizing contracts that must never touch a website. A novelist brainstorming plot twists on a flight with no Wi-Fi. A student getting a concept re-explained 40 times at 2 in the morning without burning a single credit. A small business owner feeding in a year of private numbers and asking what looks wrong. Draft emails? Rewrite? Translate? Outline? Explain. Ask the embarrassing questions with zero record. For the everyday 90%, a free 8 billion parameter model does the job, and the 10% it cannot do was never private anyway. Know which tool for which job, and you will never feel the gap. And this is the worst it will ever be. Remember the leak downhill rule from the last video? Frontier abilities compressing into smaller models that run on ordinary hardware? You are standing at the bottom of that hill with a bucket. Every few months, the free models get smarter and the compression gets tighter, so the same laptop keeps inheriting more intelligence without spending a cent. Engineers who run these models daily already treat the upgrade cycle like weather. a new front of capability rolling in every season. The machine you own right now is the floor, not the ceiling. The people who learn this workflow today are the ones who will barely notice when the next wave of free minds arrives. They will just download it. So, come back to the promise this video opened with: a real AI running on your own laptop before the video ends. You now know the 4 steps, the 1 rule of sizing, and the airplane mode test that proves it is truly yours. The only thing left is to actually do it, and that takes less time than watching this video did. And if you are wondering how any of this became free in the first place, why companies that spent billions handed you the treasure, that whole strange story is already on this channel in the video about the world's best AI suddenly costing nothing. Watch it after your download finishes. By then, you will own the very thing that story is about.